This is the Paranormal Report. Welcome to the Paranormal Report. I'm Jim.
I'm Dar. What's up? What's new? What's exciting?
Lots of tech issues. The plight of the independent podcaster.
Just the day from you-know-where.
Actually, my day started out great. I had one of the best sessions of campfire calls I've ever had. If you've not listened to it, check out Jim Harold's Campfire. Some all-time calls, Dar. It was great.
Awesome.
And then I took a little siesta to kind of reset the brain and came in here and the computer went insane. So
there you go.
But here we are, and hopefully we'll make it through this session.
You had tech issues last week trying to get Campfire going.
Yeah.
And posted.
I just think it goes with the territory. When you're trying to put out this much content, you know what happens. And it does. But we're here now, and that's what it counts. That's what it counts.
That's what it counts.
There's been a real shift in thinking. Anyway, 3i Atlas. Yeah, no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to quickly to start out, just give a shout out to those that came.
I forgot.
I didn't forget. Those that came to your event last week at Lorraine Public Library.
Yeah, Lorraine Public Library. We had Joe and his wife, forgive me, I can't recall her name, Jackie, who I think came all the way from Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Jeremy and Marty, Melinda, Kate, who I think was playing hurt and came anyway, and a bunch of other folks. And I don't have all the names.
Hello?
PJ, oh, that's right, of course.
And her husband,
Jim, her husband, Jim.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, so there we go.
Yeah.
And there were many more.
Many others.
The system was very happy, as I understand it, with the turnout and the way everything came out. So I fully expect that we will be back to the Lorraine public system next year. I don't know what locations. They have multiple locations. Hopefully that will happen. I know we've got some other ones coming up late this year and early next year in Cuyahoga County in the public library system. I guess it's okay to say that.
Yeah.
So look for details on that. So we will be, if you're in northeastern Ohio, more likely than not, at a library near you.
There you go. No, it was fun. It was very fun, and very grateful for those that made the trek to see you. I think it was awesome.
Yeah. And it's nice because very relaxed. We talk about campfire and some favorite campfire stories, and we even have people share campfire stories.
Some
very
good ones.
Relaxed. A nice thing, it's free. It doesn't cost anybody anything. And we had some books for sale and those kind of things, and people were very generous and purchased things, and we appreciate that. And just a good old time, a good old campfire.
Was it Mandy who made that nice picture
Mandy,
for
and
you?
Do you have
it?
Oh, I don't have it here with me.
Oh, I thought you had it.
I know I have it.
We're going to show it.
Yes. Maybe next week we can show it. But Mandy, thank you so much. Mandy was a young lady, a very young fan, and she drew me a beautiful picture of a haunted house. So thank you, Mandy. I appreciate it very much. And we'll show it on the air here in the coming weeks. So I guess we got to get to business.
We do.
Because we got a lot of stories today. SETI has responded to the idea that 3i Atlas, that's that big interstellar thing that's headed our way. And
it's a comet.
Some say it's a comet, and some say maybe not. That it might be an alien spacecraft. Now, Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb has said there's a 30 to 40% chance that the object is not natural in origin. That's, for a scientist, that's a big percentage.
Yes.
Think about that, a big percentage. Well, the SETI folks have come out and said, not so fast. They believe that it is showing very much the properties of the comet. And I just want to see here. Let me take a look. They talk about this dark forest hypothesis, the idea that possibly, given the finite resources in our universe and our lack of knowledge in any civilization's intent that any life form may want to preemptively attack us, any form of life they discover before it comes a threat to their own civilization. And according to Avi Loeb's work, that could be one reason that this object is here. And this is from iflscience.com. But these scientists say that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. They don't think Avi Loeb has provided this. And they go on to say that this is very much along the lines of a comet. Let me see here. I'm trying to pull it out.
Well, extraordinary
first.
claims require a ton of evidence. How about just any claims require evidence? How about
That's
their
true.
claims require evidence as well?
Yeah.
See, oh my gosh, the bias and the inequality. Just
Yeah.
everything requires evidence. Thank you. I'd like the evidence, please. I'm not saying that it is a spacecraft. I'm not saying it's a comet. They don't know what it is. How about that?
Tom Statler, NASA's lead scientist for solar system small bodies, which this really isn't that small of a body. I guess maybe it's considered a small body compared to a planet. But anyway, he says it looks like a comet. It does comet things. It very, very strongly resembles in just about every way the comets we know. It has some interesting properties that are a little bit different from our solar system comets, but it behaves like a comet. And so the evidence is overwhelmingly pointing to this object being a natural body. It's a comet. So there you go. There you go. Now, there was another interesting article in the Debrief and saying that 3i Atlas is displaying surprising new activity that scientists liken to a note from another planetary system. Now, you would think about that. Oh, my God, that's earth-shattering. But it's more about the makeup of it and how it's releasing water. This is by M.J. Banyas, who has been on the shows before. And basically, they're saying that the way it is releasing water is showing a lot about potential life out there and those kind of things. Let me take a look here. I'm a little behind because we had these tech issues, which totally threw off my prep. But anyway, he said, every interstellar comet so far has been a surprise. Oumuamua, which Lavi Loeb talks about a lot, was dry. Borisov was rich in carbon monoxide, and now Atlas is giving up water at a distance where we did not expect it. Each one is rewriting what we thought we knew about how planets and comets form around stars. And, again, it's going to become observable again after mid-November 2025, offering additional opportunities to track its evolution as it approaches perihelion in October 30th. And it will take it within 1.4 astronomical units of the sun just inside Mars orbit. So it's interesting from the sense that I think even if it's not some kind of evil mothership, it's still going to teach us a lot. And again, it teaches us that what we thought we know, we don't know. And you see this theme in science over the millennia, that we think we know one thing and then we get more data and it's like, oh, we were wrong about that. So I always encourage science to remain humble because, the wise man knows what he doesn't know, or knows that he doesn't know a lot, basically, is the idea. So that is it. But
so we might have more info at the end of November, right?
Yeah. And it's also interesting what's going to happen around, I think it goes behind the sun around the end of October. I think that's what happens. I get confused on the timeline. I'll be honest about that because I'm not an astrophysicist.
Well, they keep throwing out dates too. So,
but it'll be interesting to see. Yeah. And then if it turns out to just be a comet, how does Avi Loeb address that? Now, he's kind of given himself an out because he said 30 to 40%, but that means there's a 60 to 70% chance that it's just an interstellar object. So he's kind of been very smart about how he's played that. But I wonder what he'll have to say if it does turn out to be a comet. But, again, we see it time and time again. World governments, they ridicule UFOs. They're skeptical about UFOs. And you've got more evidence up north, right?
Right. So first off, happy belated Thanksgiving to all our Canadian friends up there. We hope you had a wonderful day with family and friends. So that's awesome. But this story is coming from the Toronto Sun, and a science advisor says UFO reporting in Canada discouraged by ridicule and skepticism. So the cabinet's science advisor, Dr. Mona Nemmer, she had a Blacklock's reporter got access to information, and they got an internal memo written by her, and they had to mention that she gets paid $393,000 a year. said ridicule and skepticism about what she prefers to call unidentified aerial phenomenon are discouraging Canadians from reporting suspicious activity. And I liked this quote. She says, terminology can help promote greater transparency, credibility, and acceptance of research in professional, scientific, and public communities. The shift in terminology from UFOs to unidentified aerial phenomenon has the potential to reduce the stigma historically associated with UFOs. So I guess, people that have reported just even like last year in 2024, they were met with this ridicule and they were like negative perceptions of them and judgments, as we all know, because we believe in something that's different. And because of that, like skepticism and that ridicule, people just stopped coming forward. A lot of witnesses just decided, it wasn't worth it. So she's really trying to get that terminology changed and have more openness so that, people can at least report what they've been seeing. So kudos to her. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think that it's really a worldwide issue, right? I think we're seeing worldwide that these things are discouraged and covered up. And the question is why? I don't know why. It seems like it's so resistant. People are so resistant. The government is so resistant, or parts of the governments are so resistant. And we have another example of that, Christopher Mellon, who, if that name Mellon, I've heard that name before. That is from the famous Mellon family, like Mellon Bank, like Carnegie Mellon. So we're not talking about, some guy, and God bless, my family had trailers, but he's not living in the back of his trailer. He is, this is a very tied-in wealthy guy and a former defense official. Actually, he's a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence and Chairman of the Board of the UAP Disclosure Fund. So, he worked, I believe, in the Obama and maybe Bush administrations. I'm not sure. I believe Obama for sure. So, we're talking about somebody who's been cleared and those kind of things. And
right.
He wrote this op-ed piece for the San Francisco Chronicle, and we'll have the links in the show notes. And he basically said, he spent more than 30 years inside the U.S. intelligence community, and he said he has witnessed a troubling pattern. Incidents of UAPs were detected by cutting-edge radar and other systems, but routinely dismissed, buried, or classified beyond justification. Now, in 2017, he helped get that footage of those 3 UAP encounters released, the ones with the Navy aviators that kind of really got things going, and got the Pentagon to say, yeah, there are such a thing as UAPs. But since that all started, the commitment was supposed to be for more transparency. And now it seems like the Pentagon has locked everything back down. And that's what he's saying. He said, rather than honor its pledge, the Pentagon continues a slow drip. He says, I don't have a precise number. Even if he did, it's probably classified. But among the thousands of publicly acknowledged UAP reports and videos, that he feels that there's certainly some that could be released. And these reports go back 80 years. 80
wow.
years. So the government these days is asserting almost everything is classified, should be classified. And he just frankly says this doesn't make any sense. And it might also be illegal. Federal law requires the government to transfer its UAP records to the National Archives for public release. And he says, yet the collection so far remains piddling. So, he's arguing for it. And he said, this isn't about chasing sensational headlines. It's about an informed citizenry and honest government. With thoughtful transparency and rigorous investigation, we can begin to understand these phenomena and restore the trust that secrecy has squandered. So good for Mr. Mellon. Good for him.
Hey, why not? We need more people that are higher up that are
this guy is not a kook, and he's super connected. No. And I just believe that we do need people like him to come up, and good for him. I think he's one of the best examples of what we need. People say, hey, there is something going on. I know there's something going on. I've seen that there's something going on. And chances are, let's face it, he probably knows a lot more than he can say. And I understand that because you don't want to go to jail, right?
Right.
So if he's saying this, do you think maybe he knows a little bit more than he's letting on? But he can't, and I get that. You don't want to be, in the Gray Bar Hotel. But it just says to me, yes, there's something here. Let's get with it. And hey, I'm a patriotic American, and I believe that some things need to be secret, but I also believe that they could do better. So do better.
There you go. Do better. These people need to do better. Stories from iHeart. Police arrest fortune tellers accused of scamming people out of $600,000. Oh boy, right? So, of course, Pennsylvania, 2 individuals, Gina Marie Marks, 52, and Steve Nicholas, 40, were arrested in Pennsylvania for allegedly running a fortune teller scheme that defrauded 2 victims of over $600,000.
That's horrible.
Just disgusting. Totally disgusting. So what they did basically is they convinced these victims that they were under a curse, and the curse can only be lifted through these rituals that cost so much money. So, they told them that the curse would ruin her marriage, her business, her family unless they removed it. And they got almost $600,000 just from this one victim, allegedly.
Horrible.
Money, luxury items, jewelry, concert tickets. They needed all of these for the ritual. And then another $18,000 from this other victim, saying that they needed personal photos and items and a Chanel purse. Really?
Oh, gosh.
I mean, come on.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. So Montgomery County officials confirmed that financial records from Cash App, Zelle, and a credit union showed the victims' funds were transferred to accounts belonging to Marks and Nicholas. Both suspects have been arraigned and released on bail, and they're scheduled for a preliminary hearing on October 20th. So allegedly they did these things, and if they really did do them,
right,
lock them up and throw away the key. I don't understand.
Oh my
these
God,
people.
we must be psychic, because I was going to say exactly the same sentence. I was going to say exactly the same sentence. If they're found guilty, lock them up and throw out the key. I mean, I was going to say exactly the same thing. That's psychic phenomena right there. But I was going to say, yeah, that's right. But yeah, that's the thing. And it gives people who I believe have a real gift, and I do believe some people can have a real gift.
Yes.
It gives them a bad name.
It does.
And plus it hurts these poor people who are gullible and so forth. I mean, to me, if a psychic charges like a reasonable fee, I mean, everybody's going to make a living. But if it's like, well, come back next week, and if you give me $1,000, I will disclose what your father had to say from the other side. It's like,
that should not. Yeah, that should be a red flag.
Yeah.
There's so many of these scams out there, like these people that are pretending to be, their grandchildren calling grandma, and I'm in jail, and, go get me gift cards.
Yeah.
I just wish people would be more like,
yeah. And
just
that's
be more
scary
aware,
now with
everyone.
AI. Be careful. People are saying,
dupes.
hey, what they're saying is like families are coming up with passphrases, because they can copy your name.
Yes.
And other people.
That's actually a really good idea. If you don't have that.
Yeah.
Make sure there's like some kind of phrase your whole family is aware of, and use that phrase and say, hey, really? That's the case? Give me the phrase.
Right. And then another thing I heard, there was this one security expert who was being interviewed, and he said, I've told people that I work with in my company and outside, never do something financial on my verbal word over phone or something. Only do it in written communication, which is also scary too, because people can spoof your email.
That doesn't.
Yeah, I was kind of like,
hey, I sent it on Instagram. I wrote it down.
But I mean, still, we have to think about these things because of AI. And this is a total departure. But I just want to share something with folks. I am off today. This whole tech thing.
I told you it's a day. Oh, you get like that.
Anyway,
one little thing, and then that's it. But go ahead.
Sora 2, which is by OpenAI, the same people that do ChatGPT. It's like this really robust generative AI video platform. And people are you can go on now and get the app and make shorts and stuff. And they literally had JFK in a suit, and it looked like maybe the suit that he was assassinated in. He was standing in the middle of Dealey Plaza, and I'll do my bad JFK impersonation. But he says, remember, the shots didn't come over my head from the book depository. They came from over there on the grassy knoll. And I mean, it looked
so real.
It looked so real. And it was so eerie to see this likeness.
Scary.
Of the former president who sounded like the former president talking about his own assassination. It was just creepy as hell.
Very creepy. See?
Yeah.
And just a quick shout out. We appeared on Spirit Sessions podcast.
Yeah, I don't think that's released yet, but
it's not released. It's coming. So if you want to see an interview with us, but we talked a little bit about AI, and just to reiterate, I'm not saying all AI is bad. I mean, when it's used for good, when it's used to maybe like help devise a prosthetic for someone, or there's so many good things it can do. But when it gets in the wrong hands, the bad things they outshine the good things, right? So I'm just everyone proceed with caution with this. I just find it scary because now they can make you say something that you've never said. And then how do you prove that you didn't say it?
Absolutely.
I mean, how do you prove it? I mean, you can't, how do you prove that they used some AI to make you say words that you didn't say?
Yeah.
And think about the repercussions of that if we go to war. What if they have some world leader say, we're going to nuke you right now? We hit the button. And how do you prove they didn't?
I mean, you would hope that the governments of the world would kind of get that.
Well, you
but
would
it could
hope,
inflame
but you
people.
Don't know.
There's so many ways that this could inflame people, and people could be falsely accused. So it's a bad thing. And like I think I said last week, maybe 2-3 years ago, there was this thing on 60 Minutes, and they're like, "Oh, these high-tech geniuses can do this," and now it doesn't take a high-tech genius. You can do it with your phone.
Yep. Scary.
In 30 seconds.
Just scary. I'm sorry. Scary.
Well, on to more pleasant matters. Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
Yay. What's he doing now?
This is from Coast to Coast AM. And Tim Banal over there does such a great job with different stories and so forth. And this is about a motorist in Washington State who was stopped in her tracks. She spotted a set of sizable footprints that may have been left behind by Sasquatch. Now, it sounds like from the story she was driving and saw these footprints. I don't know how you see footprints on the side of a mountain when you're driving, but that's neither here nor there. This was near Mount St. Helens, the site of that famous eruption. And she pulled over and got a look at them, and we'll actually have a link to this, and there's a really neat picture where she put her foot next to it. And there were at least 3 of these massive footprints. She thought there were more, but she couldn't get up the hill to check. And they said that she had her shoe, which is a size 8 men's, and this just dwarfs it. They think that this print, she used dental floss because she didn't have a measuring tape. So she took dental floss and she measured it with the dental floss and gave it back home and measured the dental floss, which was genius. Very smart woman.
Wow. Good problem solving.
12 and a half inches. 12 and a half inches. So it's pretty interesting. And I've had people show me. Remember when we were at Monster Fest, Eric Altman showed us some casts of some big footprints. I always find those fascinating. Now, could they be bear or something else? I'm hoping they'll do more study on that. But still pretty neat. Still pretty neat. So again, I think that, Bigfoot may be out there, particularly out in the Pacific Northwest where you've got all that wilderness. Well, you know what else is neat?
What else is neat?
You found that
I'm
funny.
Sorry, I'm laughing. I am laughing because our dog will not stop barking at me. I don't know if you guys can hear this.
No, I haven't heard it. Yeah.
Because he wants to join the broadcast very badly. Yeah. And he's very upset.
Well, sorry, Teddy. We're professionals here. We don't. Did Walter Cronkite hold his pet Yorkie? I don't think
He should have.
Of course, we're
much
not
more
Walter
interesting.
Cronkite. So, and did Walter Cronkite do spots for his merch show? I don't think so.
Shop.
See, the brain has left. The brain has left. So,
but I'm bumped. Left the building. Yeah. There we go.
Okay.
Good.
So here is our merch store. Dar, tell people about some stuff they should know about the
There's
merch
only
store.
one sign left. So thank you all of those people that purchased one. There is one left. We have the new stickers. People have been really raving about the decals. They're waterproof. You could put them on water bottles. You could put them anywhere. People are really loving them. I think the quality is way better than what we used to have in the store. So I'm very happy with them. Cheaper because you don't have to pay the same amount of the sticker for shipping. I've included shipping into the item so that it's free and you don't have to pay for shipping on those. So I just put up a puzzle today. I know people have been talking about puzzles. So we have a new puzzle with Jim's logo, 110 piece or 252 piece or 520 pieces. You can have your choice. Comes in a little box. That's for the small one, but in the larger ones, they're in a nice cardboard box like that. And there you go. And I can put different logos or different things. Eventually, we can get different ones up in there, but that was a new item today. I think that would be cool to listen to your podcast and work on a puzzle.
I think that makes a lot of sense. We have, Dar has some really good ideas of some things we can do with the puzzle concept, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I have a couple really good ideas for puzzles. So we'll see. But in the meantime, if you want to grab the logo, and it's great for some kids. I know there are some children that like your shows and their parents approve of them listening or they listen with them as a family, which we always recommend.
If they vet the stories and know what they're listening to. Some are not necessarily kid safe. Other ones, I think
it's parent decision on what their children listen to. But if you are listening together as a family, what a great idea to sit and do a puzzle or something while you're listening, right? So anyway, there we go. I don't want to be one of those like, buy merch. But
well, no,
we appreciate when you do. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, well, the thing is that we make it accessible to you. It helps us. It helps us just as much for the publicity when people see you out and about with a shirt or that kind of things. They say, oh, what is that all about? And then they learn about the campfire. So in some ways that can be more valuable than, the profit we make, because the majority of the money does not go back to us. It goes for things like shipping if we offer free shipping, or things like the production and those kind of things. And those companies seems like they're always raising their prices to us.
Oh, aren't they?
Especially lately.
Just so you all know, because it's the holiday season coming up, they've decided to put a 40-cent surcharge on all the shipping that's going out for no good reason, really, because they can. Because they're going to have increased volume.
It's sad.
So it's just
sad.
We try, guys.
We do our best, and we try to do everything that we can to keep the prices down. And sounds like a personal problem. Anyway,
he's barking over here. You didn't hear that one?
I haven't heard it. I think that the mic is doing a good job of keeping it out.
That's awesome.
So anyway, you have more cryptid stories for us. Kind of cool.
We do. So there is a new Avenger-style supergroup that has formed. It's for Bigfoot, Yeti, and Loch Ness Monster Hunters. They're calling it the World Federation of Legendary Monsters, and they've set it up to kind of crack the world's monster riddles, and they're going to team together to share information and theories. So Nessie experts are going to link up with Yeti and Bigfoot hunters for the first time to just share all their notes and research. It was created by staff at the Loch Ness Center. And, they just want to explore these famous stories in a balanced way, right? So I think it's pretty cool that, that they're creating this group, they're calling it an Avenger style group, but that's going to share information with each other, I think is great. The second part to this story, though, that I thought was kind of interesting is the actress Anna Kendrick. You might know her from Pitch Perfect. She claimed she saw the Loch Ness Monster on her trip to Scotland last week.
Wow.
Yeah. So she said, actually, Nessie eyeballed her while they were visiting the Ardros Castle in Inverness, where the Traitors is filmed. I like that show. Jim doesn't like that show.
Not my cup of tea.
Oh, I think it's hilarious. It's fun. And she's always been a skeptic. She just said, I didn't believe in these things. Like, total non-believer. She said, it's like UFOs and Bigfoot. What are we talking about? And then I got on Loch Ness and I saw her. There was this thing and it came out of the water and it looked right at me. It might have actually just been one suspicious ripple, but I'm telling you, there was something. I felt it.
There you go.
I think that was pretty big. Anna Kendrick saw Loch Ness.
We're seeing a lot of stars coming out.
A lot of celebrities, right?
We had Kristen Week last week. A lot of them coming out slowly about their experiences with the strange, and I'm here for it, as the kids say. I'm here for it.
Do they still say that?
I don't know.
Usually, I think that's outdated.
When the kids say something, it's like I'm 15 years behind.
That's right. Usually, that's the case
Jake.
With both of us.
No. Yeah,
that's Jake,
as the kids say. And when people our age, that hits. When people our age start saying these things, that means they're past their sell by.
They're
date,
obsolete.
Right?
Yeah, they're not used anymore because that's not cool.
That's right. Well, what I've always found pretty cool is near-death experiences. That's probably my favorite topic that we cover. And you think, it's all positive because we hear that most near-death experiences, the vast majority, there are some hell-like experiences, but most of them are very good and very positive. And you go into this light and you feel this unconditional love. And it's all, people report, hey, I wish I would have stayed. I didn't want to leave. It was so great. And you would think this would have universally a great impact on people's lives because they come back and they know, hey, I don't have to fear death anymore. I've got something to look forward to. But not so fast. Apparently, and this is from a reputable site, studyfinds.org, that it's not that easy coming back from one of these. Near-death experiences can feel like touching eternity, but coming back often breaks earthly bonds. Get this. 1 in 5 experiencers, they experience things like losing friends, they lose family closeness, and their marriages break up. And they say that there really isn't a good place to go because kind of what I took from this is I didn't say it directly, but through the lines, you go to a therapist and you talk to a therapist about it. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be, oh, yes, that's very nice. That's very nice. That kind of thing. Not really validating the experience and saying, yeah, I know, I understand that happened. It's more like almost like the person's imagining it. You know what I'm saying? So they need to have doctors have training to help support people shaken by what they saw on the other side. And for many people, it takes years. And this study was done University of Virginia, and Dr. Bruce Grayson, I believe, headed it up, who's been a guest on my show, the Paranormal Podcast, and had a book called After, which is tremendous. The study, published in Psychology of Consciousness Theory, Research, and Practice, they surveyed 167 people who had near-death experiences. And they got those results. It is interesting. One person said, my NDE was considerable. I know I'll never be the same person ever, so ongoing reflection and inner work are needed daily. Another called it a double-edged sword. They also describe major value shifts. Nearly 70% reported changes in religious or spiritual beliefs and new views about survival after death. Many change their lifestyle and daily activities. And they said another thing that people have trouble with is this idea of the importance of life. We get wrapped up in our different commitments and things that we've got to do. And people cannot reconnect to that because they saw how kind of unimportant they feel it is after experiencing. It's like they were almost, one person said something like they were taken home. They got to go, quote, home, and then they were brought back here. Some people even have anger. So it's interesting. It's kind of like we say, every medicine has a side effect. Everything has a downside. Even something like this that would seem to be a good thing. Hey, you survived this medical crisis. You came back. You got this vision that life is eternal. What's bad about that? Well, everything has a downside.
it makes you think, because they come back and they say, like, what are we doing here? It does now make you think, what is our purpose here? Right?
I've heard people speculate that we're supposed to learn something. We're supposed to see something. There was one man, I think this was on YouTube. I never spoke with him. I should try to reach out. He gave a near-death experience, and he said he was greeted by these beings who laughed and said, oh, he actually doesn't remember being here before. And then they would ask him different questions about his experience, and they would kind of laugh among one another. Boy, the tongue isn't working today. And say, oh, can you believe that happened to him? That was kind of strange.
Yeah, kind of scary.
And I think that is a line of thought, is that we're brought here to learn certain lessons. And then we go back to, quote, our home. Because, again, some people believe, reincarnation, obviously. But we had a woman on Campfire one time who said she asked her mom when she was a little kid, where's that polka dot dress that you used to wear? And her mom was taken aback because she only had one polka dot dress that she ever wore. And it's while the daughter was in utero, while she was pregnant with her, and she wore a polka dot dress. And she said something like, I remember going to a carnival and you had a polka dot dress. Well, that did happen when her mom was pregnant. Well, yeah, when her mom was pregnant with her.
Wow. Huh. I don't know. What about the people who are here, they don't learn anything?
Oh, that's probably most of us.
Oh, speak for yourself. I'm learning new things every day. There we go. Yeah, well, there we go. I'm just you know what I'm talking about. There's a family member that I don't think learned anything, but that's okay. We're not going to get.
I'm not even sure what you're. No, I actually have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh,
no.
One of my family members. I don't think they learned anything, but that's okay.
Well, you'll have to tell me more.
I'll fill you in later.
This is a cliffhanger, folks. A cliffhanger.
Well, I have a huge update.
Big update.
Huge update. Huge update. We don't have the music for that. Anyway, the Halloween auction of the Conjuring house that was supposed to happen is canceled. No more.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Well, somebody swooped in and bought the house.
Wow.
So the sale's no longer taking place. The mortgagee, Needham Bank, quote, concluded a sale at the underlying mortgage loan, leaving it with no interest in auctioning off the home. They don't know who purchased it. We all know that, Matt Rife and YouTuber Elton Casty both wanted it, but nobody is saying who bought it and what happened. But anyway, there's no Halloween auction now going to happen for that house. It is purchased. So I guess we have to kind of stay tuned to see who actually bought it, what they're going to do with it. Are they going to continue to do like they used to do in the past and have visits and overnight stays? And I don't know. Nobody knows. But
I almost think if it was someone who was going to use it for commercial purposes, you would have thought that they probably would have announced it.
Well, maybe they don't want to be known yet.
Well, maybe they don't want to use it that way. Maybe they wanted it to be off the market, as it were, for those kind of things.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what their reasoning is. Who knows? I don't know what they want. Maybe they just want it for their own personal spookiness. I don't know. Yeah. But he said the realtor with this said he received hundreds, if not thousands, of inquiries about this house, a desire to buy this house. And he said they fell into three buckets. There were builders, investors, and fans of the supernatural. So who knows who bought it? Somebody, it might be sad if somebody buys it and then
tears it down to build something else on top of it. And then, what could happen?
Then I wonder what can happen. Yeah. Then I wonder if there'll be some very unhappy spirits.
Yeah. We just had a story like that today from Quebec. on the campfire, a phone call, which will air on a future episode, as they say.
Awesome.
About someone who was doing some renovation and it wasn't looked upon quite that well.
Yikes.
Well, speaking of psychic type stuff, I love this article you found. And you know I'm a total radio broadcasting nerd. And I also love it because people used to be, you're jumping. Are you having, is it the dog again?
He's barking and
She's
scaring
like jumping
me
like this.
because he's scaring me. He barks at. See, that's why I can't go to these places because I jump scare. Look how fast I jump scare. A dog barked and I jump scare. So
I hope it doesn't come in the recording, but I don't think it will because I can't hear it. I just see you jump all of a sudden, like you get some kind of weird twitch. So anyway, this goes back to 1927. And this was in Britain. And the person behind this experiment was Sir Oliver Lodge. He was a pioneering physicist, and he had made a name for himself on the wireless telegraphy. So anyway, he was backed by the Society for Psychical Research, which is an ongoing thing.
Yes.
And they wanted to do an experiment to see if the human mind could send signals like a radio transmitter. So they involved the BBC in this, and this is way back when.
Oh, wow.
So what they did, they put 6 volunteers inside a room in Tavistock Square in London. And then 25,000 people across Britain were asked to tune in to this broadcast and listen closely and try to read the minds of these 6 subjects.
Wow.
And it was, at the time, one of the most ambitious public experiments in mass telepathy ever conducted. And this is from dailygalaxy.com. And basically, what they did is each participant was shown objects. They included playing cards like a 2 of clubs and a 9 of hearts, a print of a human skull with birds, scented lilac sprays, and a comical bowler hat and mask worn by one of the researchers. Then they had these 25,000 people concentrate on what it was, and then they wrote in their responses.
Okay.
And they said that it didn't go so well.
I kind of
Very few listeners correctly identified the objects. Only 5 people guessed the skull image. 1 person described a human head. Others associated lilacs with flowers. And for the final comedic object, a man in a grotesque mask and hat, responses were more interesting. 146 guessed a person was present. 236 said someone was dressed up. 202 referenced hats, and 73 mentioned masks or faces. So basically, it wasn't so much the results, but the fact that they tried. And I know part of it was entertainment, and they even said like the last image was kind of comical and ha-ha. But Lodge was also part of the Ghost Club. That was a Victorian-era society that included Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and some of Charles Darwin's relatives.
Oh, my goodness.
So basically, people could be intellectuals and scientific people and still very much interested. And that's what I love. That's what I love. Even if the results weren't there. And let's face it, I mean, it's not like a controlled scientific experiment.
No.
There's too many, I mean, we even know from our background, intervening variables and things. So whether this worked or didn't, I don't think it really says that psychic phenomena is real or not real. But the fact they tried, and the fact that, yeah, I'm sure there was a certain amount of amusement, but there was a certain amount of seriousness about it. And I just wish we would do stuff like that. I know Coast to Coast has tried to do some things like that. And I don't know how you'd do that on a podcast. It'd certainly be something I consider some kind of experiment, but I don't even know how you would structure something like that.
Yeah, I don't have a clue. You'd have to...
Maybe a live stream, I don't know. Maybe we'll get with someone and some expert and say, hey, could we do some kind of experiment? That would be fun.
I would absolutely love that. I would love that.
That would be
cool.
So
much fun.
You know,
I
maybe
love all that psychic stuff.
Maybe the 100th anniversary, we can follow in their footsteps in 2027. Or we could do it sooner because who knows? Who knows what's going to happen before then?
Hey, I like it.
But there you go. Well, I tell you what else I like. OHIO, Ohio. You know, I've always had this sense. I even said this, you know, there's so many people that I grew up with who are into the spooky. And Ohio just seems to be a place very respectful and receptive to spooky people and who generate spooky people. It just seems to be a spooky place. And I thought, well, maybe this is just me thinking this because I'm here. I'm in it. I'm kind of biased. But there is an objective measure of a state's spookiness. And OHIO is number one. Tell us what it is.
They are number one in haunted houses. So I don't believe that this is not like real haunted house. These are like contrived haunted houses that you go to during the Halloween season. But we are in Ohio are number one. We lead the nation for the most haunted houses with 143. We beat California, comes in next at 132. Texas has 101. Illinois 116. Yeah, so we're leading the nation. Ooh, there we go. This is according to the Scare Factor that was on an Instagram post, but the Canton Repository, cantonrep.com did a story about it, and they kind of talked about the different haunted houses in the area, actually in the whole state. And if you go to Scare Factor, though, they have their yearly rankings of the top haunted houses, and they do some reviews. So even though we have the most, we don't have the scariest. According to the scarefactor.com, Fear Forest, Virginia leads the country with the scariest haunted house. However, we are not that far away in Ohio. In Springfield, Ohio, number 5 is Face Your Fears Hotel of Terror, right?
That reminds me of David S. Pumpkins. I'm going to scare the hell out of you.
There you go. Very good. And number 8 is Fear Columbus. And Natalie went to it this past weekend and said, yep, it did scare her. Yeah. So she loves that, like her bucket list. I was talking to somebody on the virtual campfire. They went to HHN in Universal Studios in Florida. And, that's on her bucket list, man, to get down there.
And we're going to get an update next week because Dar, for the first time this coming weekend, will go to Cedar Point's Hollow Weekends.
I don't want
under
to
protest.
Go. I am under protest. I might buy the extra, spend the money and get the necklace that you wear so they won't scare you. Or I'm just going to sit at the entrance because I don't want to go. They are dragging me. I don't want to go. I'm not going in any haunted houses.
No,
I'm not
that's
doing the mazes.
That's okay.
I'm not. I'll maybe listen to some of the entertainment and drink a blood bag, but that's about it. I'm not. It's not.
I won't go to a haunted house,
thing.
But I'll drink a blood bag.
I just jumped with the dog. Can you imagine we're walking through and somebody comes jumping out at me? I'm going to have a freaking heart attack. I'm telling you.
It's fun. It's fun. It's enjoyable.
It's not fun for me. I don't like it. They're dragging me. Everybody, please help me.
So
no, it's usually a tradition with you and the girls. You guys go every year. And I like that. But
every year you're missed.
I don't care. I just felt like it's the thing that you get to do with the girls without me. And now they're dragging me and I don't want to go.
Oh, it's going to be
They bought the tickets. I have to go. I don't want to go. So if I'm not back here next week, you'll know why.
You'll be back here with a full report saying how much fun you had. You're going to say, Jim, you were right. It wasn't as bad as I thought. It was so much fun. I'm so glad I went. That's my psychic prediction for the week.
You're wrong.
Well, one thing I'm not wrong about, please join us October 31st, 8 p.m. Eastern. That is our live stream on YouTube, our Halloween live stream. We have to order our costumes or we won't have anybody. We'll be Jim and Dar for Halloween if we don't hurry up.
Well, it's scary enough. So, no, I'm just...
especially when I dance. So make sure that you check us out there. Also, our virtual campfire group, great time being had over there. My fantasy football team over there has won 3 in a row. I'm very proud after
on a streak.
Yes, on a streak. But we do so much more. People share their stories. They show off their merch. They show off pictures of the haunted places that they've been.
Share their stories.
They talk about. We put, every time there's a new show up, we post it so people know that. So it's really a good old time. and I think you'll really enjoy it. Best of all, it's free. virtualcampfiregroup.com. Maddie also does a lot of posts there.
Oh, she does great.
And things.
Yeah, great questions.
Great questions. And it's really a great community. We're well over 3,000 people now. And again, it's free to everybody. The only one that pays is me. And there's also an app. And there was, I think it was PJ.
It was PJ.
Who asked me about the app, and the way that it's on the App Store, you would think that you might have to pay for the app, the Mighty Networks app, because that's the platform we use, but you don't. Some creators who use that do charge for their communities. We do not. So if you're in the Virtual Campfire group at virtualcampfiregroup.com and you want to get the app, just look for the Mighty Networks app on your App Store, and you get that and you sign into your login credentials for the Virtual Campfire, and there is no charge for that. So just be clear, no charge for the Virtual Campfire group.
I think the confusion, it says in-app purchases, but that's not for your community. Yeah,
not for our community. Other creators do charge for their communities because, frankly, it's pretty darn expensive for us to do this. This is thousands of dollars for us to do. But, I love the idea of the old Facebook groups. They were great when they started, and then they went and ruined it. So so basically, I'm going to recreate that, and I'm going to pay the bill, so there aren't going to be spammy ads. And with apologies to my friend ChatGPT, no AI slop. It's going to be all real stuff from real people, and and we've even kicked a couple people out who maybe weren't acting in the best way. So we don't tolerate any nonsense, and it's a good place to be.
There are rules.
There are
rules.
You
should follow them. We try to keep it PG-13.
Yeah. So, not saying those are bad people. It's just for some reason they decided to do things that are not allowed, and we cannot allow that in the group. So basically what it boils down to, it's a safe place to be. Good people, good discussion. I think you'll love it, virtualcampfiregroup.com.
There you go.
I guess that does it for us this week. Any final words of wisdom?
No, just be kind. Be kind to everyone. I've been on that kick all week. Just be kind to everyone. You don't know what people are going through. So
be kind, but you also got to remember this. Stay spooky.